leave the screaming.
Oh my god.
And welcome back to Many Many
The
Games.
screen is shaking. Oh look, the boulders become rocks.
A little bit more Plucky Squire for you.
Boulders become rocks.
That's really cool. I love that. Where do you think the rocks? Oh yeah, so I was asking you about, we were talking about how, thanks to trying to record some games like this, we're like actually playing stuff that looks interesting to us that maybe we wouldn't have made time for before. Like, in my case, I tend to play a lot of, like, AAA, I guess. Like, just like a lot of the big games that come out during the year, and I spend so much time playing that game that usually the next one comes out before I finish that one. And I'm not even able to get through all that. And in your case, it's like, oh, you got a job.
Right. And there's like, you have to break through like the little barrier of, oh, to actually play this game, I have to sit through an hour of story to get into it, which is kind of a pain.
That can be rough, right? I mean, like, a lot of games, like, let's say, like, a JRPG or, like, a big open world thing, whatever, you know that the first session is probably going to be a lot of text and a lot of, like, this is how you do this, this is how you do this, this is how you do this. And it's probably not going to be your favorite time with the game. Unless it's, like, an action game we were talking about as well. Like, if it's an action game where the beginning of it... I don't think bulls are that picky. The beginning of it is, like...
something really funny.
Oh, really?
Go on, yeah.
Okay. like we bring up Resident Evil 4 a lot because it's a thing I played recently, but like in the beginning it's like, oh, my ammo management, I don't know if I can fight these enemies, whatever. But as the game goes on, it becomes more like total annihilation, kill everything that moves. You know, if it moves, it must die, and like fully upgraded weapons. It does.
Bull must die.
Bull must die. It feels good to upgrade your weapons and stuff, but like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Get that art. Nice
art. So I was gonna say, like, Resident Evil 4 is an example of a game I think that is interesting and fun, like right off the bat, though, right?
Yeah, absolutely. They do a pretty good job with that, don't they?
So we established that Violet is not real and only I can see her. Have you seen the meme where it's like there's a fan theory that, you know, Lord of the Rings? Have you seen the movies?
Yeah.
There's a fan theory that Frodo doesn't know Legolas's name.
I saw a YouTube short.
You might have seen the same one as me.
When at the end they're like, he's mouthing their name, and when Legolas shows up, he goes. like
because he like never directly addresses Legolas over the course of the entire 3 movies.
Yeah. Have you ever had that? You've probably had it before, right? When you have like a friend of a friend who you see at events or at like get-togethers who you keep forgetting their name.
But it's been like 6 months now.
You can't ask anymore. 5 times. And it's way worse when they address you by your name, where it's like, by social standards, you will now address me by my name.
Right, yes.
Like, oh.
Tell me my name.
Say my name. Say it. Call me Batman. Oh, by the way, maybe I should...
That happens to me way more.
I'll do this guy. Yeah. Sorry, I pulled the mic towards me.
Oh, that's cool.
You know, it's a bit of a mic.
There's a mini beard now. He says we need a key.
Oh, nice mini beard.
There's a key over there.
Free advice from... Oh, I like... They did the... It's folded into the page, kind of.
What?
Like the D right there. It's like... It's in the crevice.
Oh, yeah, see?
It's kind of
3D asset.
It's fun. It's a fun idea.
Helpful fella. You know?
Hey, alright.
Always pays.
He's full of answers. You better shake him down.
Does he just hang out here?
I think he hangs out here. I like those mics, but it looks like you need that key. What do you think of this game? Do you like it?
Yeah. It's nothing special, I guess.
You'll never.
I can't slash in the air. I noticed I couldn't do a downward slash when I was jumping around earlier.
That's kind of a bummer, isn't it? You love that.
Maybe I unlock that later.
True.
Throw my sword.
Do you think it's weird that throwing is on a different button? Did you think it would just be like a hold, or like if it was Zelda, it'd be like when you're at full HP?
I don't mind it being a different button.
Oh, it gets jammed in the wall.
I just wish it didn't like stop me. Yeah, that's actually.
That could be a cool.
I wish it didn't stop me moving when I did it.
Oh yeah, right. I assume that's.
Oh, I can get items with it.
Ooh, nice.
Take back everything I said. Take it back.
This thing is sick. Just camp these guys. Nice moves. The balls. Yeah, I haven't looked much at what this game is before we got into it, so it's cool to just kind of hop in. Hop in. You get that key though.
I like the little wall thing.
That was a cool wall. I like that wall. Yeah. So like right now, in addition to us playing this right now, I'm playing a lot of like Metaphor, right? The new Atlas thing. I'm enjoying it. Have you been playing anything recently?
I haven't touched Metaphor yet. Nothing that came out recently, I don't think.
Mostly
Other
just
than
like...
Unicorn Overload came out this year.
Oh, yeah,
Just a
yeah.
lot of fun.
I want to play that so bad.
Just playing
I'm not tall
fun
enough
stuff.
to play.
Some StarCraft, some World of Warcraft.
Yeah, you're getting really into StarCraft 2 again.
I always do, like, once every 4 years.
That's
I'm
cool.
Like, this is the time I'm gonna get really good at it.
Why are you... You're
it
like
stops.
Diamond, right?
I think they shift. Like, what MMR goes into what. The player base is probably gradually getting better at the game as I'm away.
That's fair. I would assume
So
that they
I
are.
come back and I'm a little better because I've had time to think about it or whatever.
Yeah.
But then I ended up relatively just being about the same as where I was.
You show them the strats of 4 years ago that they don't remember.
Yeah.
I think this
They don't work.
I think it's to your left.
Whoops.
Got it. Nice Keyblade.
Yeah, StarCraft 2 is sick. It's just too bad that it's pretty much a dead game at this point.
Yeah, you know,
KS genre as a whole is probably not go anywhere.
I mean, I think there's some, like, indies. Was there a new Company of Heroes that came out this last year? You ever play Company of Heroes?
Company of Heroes. That's
Yeah.
like a World War II one?
Yeah, yeah. The first Company of Heroes is awesome. We should play it. Love that game. Do you like Command and Conquer?
I played a lot of Command and Conquer when I was younger. I
Okay.
don't know if I liked it at the time. I thought it was cool.
I like Command and Conquer 3 a lot. I don't think that...
It's Topsy.
I don't know if that's the one that people like very much, though. I like Kane's Wrath a lot. It's like the expansion, and they added a ton of...
Is that on PlayStation? I
They
played
did
the
port it.
N64 one, and then I played, I think it was Red Alert on the
Sure.
PlayStation.
No, I played the later generation one, so like Command and Conquer 3 got ported to like 360. But like during that time I played like Command and Conquer 3, Red Alert 3, Supreme Commander, Company of Heroes, I guess like Age of Empires 3. Most of like the later iterations has had a lot of these series, I suppose, other than Company of Heroes. Are you mostly a Blizzard RTS guy?
I really, really like StarCraft and Warcraft 3. I was huge into Warcraft 3 when it was right around when it came out.
I enjoyed playing it. I didn't really ruin. I think most of my time with it was custom games.
Like a lot of people as well. And I played my fair share of custom games, but just playing, even though I was never particularly good at the single player, I wouldn't say. It's
Some
fun
people
because...
use the word genius, but I don't like such strong.
Team games in that game are really fun. You would do like 4v4 team games, and everyone would just say the unit they're gonna make for that game, and you would only make that unit. And this is a funny story because this is where I did not know what the term GG meant.
Oh, really?
It means good game, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You say it when you're about to lose to concede to your opponent, right?
Sure.
And so there would be these giant, massive battles going on, and someone would say GG, and so I got it into my head that it meant good God, like you would say when like
Here it
something
comes.
incredible was happening. So these giant battles would start, and I'd be like, oh wow, I should say GG because
It comes off as like so like it's over.
GG. Yeah, exactly. It's very bad manner.
That's awesome.
The biscuits.
You remember when Overwatch came out and they did the chat filter when you tried to tell someone like they're bad or whatever, that it would replace it with like mommy says it's bedtime for me?
What? No.
Yeah, they did.
That was a thing.
Yeah. I think they were pretty worried about the shooter audience playing the game what they would type, so they put a lot of that kind of replacement chat filter. Pretty funny. The biscuits, the big cat wants the biscuits, right?
It does. I have to get rid of the forest, I think. Bye.
Are you gonna apply ruin to the...
Here was a rune forest.
Here was a secluded ruin.
Yeah, that's the idea.
You got it. Forest ruin? Oh no, you got it. Oh, you hit it. That's cool. Even though
Oops.
I think that's pretty cool. When I was looking at it, I wouldn't have thought that I could hit that thing. I would if it had the little lines under it.
The guy said though, listen to the mini man.
I didn't. That's my bad. Next one.
Yeah, I also really like Age of Mythology. That was the other.
I never played Age of Mythology.
I thought that game was really cool.
You ever play Black and White?
That's the one. I had a friend who was really into that, but I never played it myself.
So I didn't play myself. I just always saw it when I would go look at the video games in Target, and they still had like the big PC games where it had like the flip out front page, or like all the Blizzard stuff came in like a battle chest, so like really wide, right? They had Black and White, and I was like, I want to try that.
That's the one where you're like a god, right?
I guess you just move it far enough that you can change it back to a forest.
I see. I would not have.
That kind of meme. That's kind of annoying though, having to go back and forth so much, but fun idea.
Here was a secluded nothing.
Here was secluded. There you go.
Where is it
Something
now?
probably happened. As long as it got to the point where you can get over that bridge, then you do it again. But that's a lot of like.
This is the. Can I move it around?
Yeah.
Did I do the right
I think
place?
you're far enough to.
I think this is just.
You got to
how
get
it
it
was
over the
before.
bridge. Yeah, you got to get over that bridge.
Oh, I move it here first, maybe,
Yeah,
and then turn
yeah,
it into a ring. Can I
There you
jump
go.
over it?
Can you drag it? Maybe not. That's probably as far as she goes.
I think so.
Time to switch it back. Yeah, I didn't play Black and White, but I played, Majesty?
It sounds familiar.
Majesty was one of the few games that was compatible with Mac back in the day.
This was not correct.
Maybe the top thing, because it's
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
to tell you to go there, right?
I think so.
There you
Is
go.
that not where I had it before? I don't remember.
I refuse to say. I hold my silence. Get mini beard in there. Majesty was a really cool idea for an RTS, but weirdly it was my first RTS, and the idea behind this game is you don't control the units. You spawn units. You get to choose what units are created or whatever, but the only way that you can get them to do things is that they would naturally be inclined to do it. Like, I make a bunch of paladins or monks or whatever, they'll want to defeat evil, but if I make, like, rogues, they don't necessarily want that, they want gold. You'd put bounties on overworld enemies, and then everyone is like, oh, now I'm motivated to kill that thing because I want money. It was just super interesting. I would love to play that again.
Biscuits!
Would you ever want to do, like, nostalgia PC games?
Dude, that'd actually be really cool.
It'd be kind of fun, right?
Everyone's got a few of those in their back pocket, right?
Absolutely. And I think that a lot of these things are pretty good about getting on Steam at this point, that we could find a good amount of them from back in the day. I think I've seen Majesty on there, so that'd be a fun one. You ever play Impossible Creatures?
Yes, actually.
Oh,
I did play that.
I was so excited.
That was an
about
RTS
game.
as well, right?
Yep.
Yeah. My friend was... I had one friend who introduced me to all of the RTSs, basically. Everything I played on PC for the longest time.
Sure.
He was an interesting guy.
He's no
But
longer
yes.
with us.
Impossible Creatures is one of those games, and it was very cool.
So Impossible Creatures was the first RTS I played that wasn't Majesty, where you actually had to control the workers, and I didn't understand the concept. I didn't understand that I was supposed to like click and drag and move them around and build things.
Okay.
So they just sat there, and then they would get attacked, and they'd be like, "Engineer under attack! Engineer under attack!" And I remember as a kid, I felt so stressed that I couldn't save them.
Oh, this is much more expensive.
This is much more expensive. But you're...
Oh, look at that. There's our jump attack.
There you go. But sword damage upgrade is way better, right?
How about art?
Dig some art.
Beard.
Excellent art.
Everyone's favorite character.
Yeah, alright.
Guess we'll just get this.
I think that's pretty good. Can't go wrong. But yeah, I remember the idea that I couldn't save these guys that were being like killed, and they were clearly telling me like, "Please save me," like really bummed
Very
me out.
stressful, right?
I was so excited to play that game too, and I think that was my entire experience with it. But I'd love to go back and give it a meme.
I saw something on Twitter recently that reminded me of there's an interaction in Final Fantasy Tactics where, for whatever reason,
Our trio stopped in their tracks.
They're stopped in their tracks.
There, on the horizon,
It's like some sort of like
loomed
lighting going over.
Tome
Like a
Tower.
cloud went by.
did it?
Tome Tower. I like the set pieces. Hey, that looks like a collectible. It got dark here pretty fast. I'm part of the main character's imagination, so the other guy's not gonna know what you're having.
If we get to the end of this game and they have not interacted directly once, that's gonna be very funny.
Legolas.
Yeah, so in Final Fantasy Tactics, when you dismiss you can recruit monsters.
Look at him.
And you have a very limited amount of people who you can recruit. When you dismiss the monsters to make room, their dialogue is so sad.
Oh no.
The deal was we would protect each other.
Oh my god.
So I dismissed it a bomb in the course of my playthrough, and I actually screenshotted it and sent it to my friend because it was so sad.
You screenshotted it.
I screenshotted it on
Like-
my. I don't. Maybe I took a picture of my Nintendo DS. No, my Nintendo DS. My PlayStation Vita.
Oh, but does Vita...
I think it was emulated. No, it was remade on Vita. No, it was on PSP.
Yeah, it was on PSP.
War of Alliance is PSP.
Yeah.
But you can play PSP games on the Vita.
through the e-store.
Somehow, legally or not.
Okay,
You
I was
can
gonna
do
say
it.
like yeah, because you certainly can't fit the
No,
UMD. Remember how it? Did you ever find it ironic? I think this joke has been made by every video game liker, but like that the PSP's discs are called UMDs, Universal Media Discs, but they don't work on anything but the PSP.
Very universal. Very nice.
This is where I learned to start not trusting corporations.
You really tried to make those.
Spawning monsters. Can you make it not spawn them if you hit that? Yes. I like these electro slimes.
I like them a lot. This is my favorite character kind of creature design.
I refuse to go any further. I will just look at them.
I'll be saying that about a different kind of creature design in about 30 minutes.
But that's good, right? And the fact that the creatures inspire, like, wow, I like this kind of thing. Do you find you do that a lot more nowadays than when you were a kid? When I was a kid, I just saw anime. I didn't really think about like how I liked the way that they put it together.
I guess so.
Other than like Pokemon.
I have a hard time. Do you have a hard time remembering like actually thinking, like having thoughts as a child? Because I certainly.
The way you said that is like is a little concerning. When did
I don't
you
remember?
When did they turn you on?
When did you first have a thought?
No, it's interesting you mentioned. Oh, there's a shiny right above you.
Oh, nice.
I think you gotta get it. Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, look at him! I like this guy.
Glitch bird.
Glitch
I
bird.
love the glitch bird.
Yeah, he's cool. On the thing I was saying before a little bit with like the character designs, I think I only started caring in like Pokemon because I knew I could get them. If they couldn't be mine, I
They're
didn't
friends.
care how they looked.
Yeah. That makes
There's
sense.
like that's just an enemy.
This looks like a Pokemon I could catch.
Let me catch him. But for thoughts, I don't know. I remember like I have a very strong association with media, with where I'm like I'm not very good with calendar dates when it comes to memories. I'm much better at saying like when I was in this place in this grade of schooling because I'm that. I think I'm a little bit too sheltered where I don't care about years. I just care about what grade I'm in inside school. In that sense, I guess. But yeah, that's how to remember games. So like if you bring up like, oh, where did you play? If someone asked me like, where did you play this level of Star Wars Rebel Commando? I'd be like, oh, that level specifically. If you're talking about the first time you see Super Battle Droids, I was in this college called Augustana inside South Dakota at a swim meet, and I was between races, and I was sitting on a sleeping bag with my dad's laptop playing Republic Commando.
That's pretty sweet. But even like situations that are not that specific, like if you're just in the same place you would play other games, you can pinpoint what grade of school you're in.
I can pretty much remember what grade of school I was in, what I was doing, and what I did in the game per
Wow, that's
place.
pretty crazy.
But that's part of the reason why I like portables a lot, is that I can remember what I played, where I was.
Yeah. That's actually.
So people ask me like, where did you go inside Europe when I went on a European tour with my family? Like they brought me along when I got into college, which was very nice of them. I don't remember much of Europe, but I'll tell you, I played Conception 2 on the 3DS, and they're like, make children with the woman. Like, this game is crazy. Did you talk to the caterpillar?
I think so. I guess when I think about it, like I can pinpoint that I played like the entirety of Patapon, the PSP game,
you love Patapon.
between the hours of 9 and 12 a.m. on one exact couch in my house.
That's sick.
In the summer of like 10th grade. Like I can say that for sure.
I think that's what I like so much about books and games and stuff, is it's such a, like, you know, obviously there is like some sort of like, it becomes kind of gray and like a lot of things become similar, but they're technically like very unique experiences that help cut away from other parts of your life, like when I played X game kind of thing. But I was mentioning video games, right? I'm also the same way with like manga and like books. Books a little bit less so though. Like if it's a book that I chose to read, then I'm pretty good. But like some books that we had to read for like school, I think my brain just registers a lot of those as homework moments.
Okay.
And I don't remember some of it. I wish I had the memory that I have for video game stuff, but like with calculus homework. If I could just still do calculus because I've done it before in my life, that would be very handy.
Not exactly how it works.
Not really how it works. I don't think I remember.
Yeah, I think as far as like the things I played that were not at the normal place that I played things, I can remember everything very well.
Okay.
But once it comes to like
that spot,
TV in my room,
Sure.
I remember almost nothing.
You know what's funny is like I've always thought that I have like a pretty decent memory, but there's so many times that I meet up with a friend that I haven't seen in a long time, or I knew someone for just a little while and I meet with them again like later on, like, oh, I haven't seen you forever, how's it been going, man? They'll be like, I remember that I thought it was so funny that you said this or something, and it'll be something that I don't remember saying at all, and that freaks my balls out, man. I'm like, who are you with? That wasn't me. Like, that kind of thing. But it happens so often that I think I don't have a very good memory for the things that I even say.
Right.
But I like remembering, I don't know. I associate a lot of things with games. Like, for example, if you asked me where I read most of, like, original Dragon Ball, it was in this laundromat close to my grandparents' place. That's a kill fall. That's a kill fall.
Did I not
I see you want that.
I think I could have gone from the other way, maybe.
Give it a try.
Tell me more. Yeah, I remember I read the original Dragon Ball while waiting for a flight in Narita Airport over the course of 4 days.
Really?
Yeah.
Like you were stuck in Narita Airport
stuck in
for
Narita
4 days?
Yeah, because I was on.
Why do you still come to Japan? I would be done.
It was done here. It was flying standby, so it's like you can only fly if they have a seat for you. But it was Golden Week, so all the planes were filled with. There's no chance. Or maybe it was Obon. It was Obon. It was
I mean, it's another big.
And so I just sat around reading Dragon Ball, and then I finished it and I read it again because I didn't
know
anything else.
Is Dragon Ball a very recent read for you then?
No, so this was the first time I came to Japan, which was about 10 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like compared to when Dragon Ball was popular.
Oh
it's
yeah.
recent.
It's much more recent.
Interesting.
Much more of like, oh, everyone has been talking about this for a long time. I guess I'll give it a try.
In my case, I got into Dragon Ball Z kind of like how everybody did when they were kids that are around my age. Me being like about 30, you know. They just like Toonami and school, just people talking about Dragon Ball, whatever. So I was always into Dragon Ball Z, but I didn't know very much about original Dragon Ball.
Tell me something.
I got into Dragon Ball what I would consider to be kind of late, considering that I was into DBZ, but it wasn't that late. It was like...
See the art by the art.
I think I was like...
oh, that's nice.
Late elementary school, maybe like the end of elementary school. It's just that I'd already been into DBZ for so many years.
Was Dragon Ball like finished at that point?
Yeah, I mean, well, by the time
published?
Dragon Ball Z was even showing in the States, I think
It was done?
Oh yeah, like we got all that stuff very late. That's part of the reason why GT came out so soon to Z. I know you weren't as into that stuff at the time, right? But like, in my head at least, we were still playing reruns, if not still finishing the Majin Buu saga on Toonami when they started showing GT. I remember watching the first episode of GT and be like, what the hell is going on? We were just like, we were dealing with the pink guy, and now he's small again. Like, and, you know, I think because of that, I like to attribute that to why a lot of Americans that I know at least aren't that into GT, is that it didn't, like, cash into this huge nostalgia bomb. Like, meanwhile, Dragon Ball Z, the manga, ended in what, like 1994 inside Japan?
Was it that long ago?
I think that's when it ended. It was quite a while back, and GT came out like early 2000s, like kind of thing, and so there was like quite a gap there for people to be like, oh my god, it's Goku again. So in Japan, it's very popular. Meanwhile, for a lot of guys that are like my age, they're like, oh, I hated that.
God.
And then because it's not like canon anymore, it even adds more to it. People are like, I didn't like it because it was part of the storyline. But
You
actually,
mean among Americans?
Yeah.
Or like non-Japanese people?
I would say, yeah. At least I can't speak for anywhere else. Just people that were like me and grew up watching Z and GT a little too close to each other, probably. They've been stacked purposely. Big blocks of books.
Purposefully? What?
Had been purposely big box of books.
Should we? Is it time for a...
I think it's about time. A good catch.
Next time,
on the Thingamajig.
where we play many games.
You want to give it
Art!
a pause? You want to give it that nice pause?
We'll let that be the pause screen.
Hell yeah. Do you want to grab a Kobini drink, or you just want to have some water? I guess we have water.